What's up, everybody? I'm Jessica, and welcome to In the Studio. Today we are at the Tweak Track Recording Studio in Harlem, New York, about to talk to a former spoken word artist turned rapper that goes by the name of the MarXman. We're going to talk about his transition from poetry to music, the topics that he thinks today's mainstream artists should be discussing in their lyrics, and his perspective on the current state of the industry. We're also going to be treated to a rare freestyle performance that you're not going to want to miss, and who knows, I may even spit a few tracks, bars, whatever you call it. Anyway, stay tuned. So we are here in the studio with the incredibly talented, the MarXman. Welcome to In the Studio.
Cheers, welcome.
And we have wine courtesy of the MarXman.
You know how we do.
We are so sophisticated.
We try.
Yes, there's a song about that too.
Let's do it. Remix.
Oh, yeah, we playing. All right. Well, welcome to In the Studio, and we are so happy to have you because there's lots for us to talk about.
Yes.
Now, you started off doing spoken word, and you have transitioned to music.
Right.
And, you know, I've listened to your stuff. You're extremely profound and extremly talented. So can you walk us through first the successes that you've had doing spoken word, how you got into that, and then why you are why you have transitioned to music?
Well, music was always within.
Mm-hmm.
I did not decide to just turn left.
Mm-hmm.
I would say a lack of confidence, a lack of that gusto really inhibited it for a long time. But my boys would tell me I was always rhyming. You know, poetry was something I was obviously good at the time. So writing was something I really took seriously. But the transition came at a point where I didn't think poetry was going to get me anywhere. Mm-hmm. I was at a ceiling that I saw. I wanted to really do this full time. So hip-hop music was something that was just larger, and it branched off into different areas of entertainment. So it just made sense. It was just a natural progression.
Right.
Yeah.
And when you first came out with music, you had an album, The Next.
Right.
Yes.
The next mixtape.
Yes, the next mixtape, and then you had the next album.
Right.
And you know, the songs are really interesting and deep. So can you kind of walk us through kind of your thought process of how you kind of created the music and the story of that album and what you really wanted to portray to the listeners as an introduction of you as a music artist?
Right. It was challenging because I've been performing for 10 years before I put that out.
Mm-hmm.
I never put out a chapbook. I never put out anything.
Mm-hmm.
So to perform for that long of a time and not put anything out and then all of a sudden rap was something that was a challenge for me. I wanted to not sound like a poet with a beat behind them.
Right.
I want to sound like a rapper.
And now you are preparing a project for
Right.
2014.
Definitely.
Talk to us about that. I'm like really excited because I'm
Definitely.
really excited to hear some new stuff from you.
Okay.
So talk to us about the project that you're currently working on that you're releasing in 2014.
Yes, it's called Days of Future Past. MarXman is a mix of my name, Mark. It's a mix of unknown possibilities. It's a mixture of X-Men, being a comic fan since a kid. So the fact there's an X-Men movie coming up called Days of Future Past, as the MarXman, I really use that X as an icon to represent the unknown, that it can be anything, literally. So Days of Future Past made perfect sense. The marketing was there. The concept was there. And it's a concept that's days of future, so I will be presenting some future music, some music that are very original, and I'll also be tributing classics. So I'm going to the past, some remixing some joints, and then I'm going to stay with the present and then take it to the future.
So it's like a timeline.
Hopefully, yeah. I'm formulating it now, so it's early stages, but it's definitely coming out.
What are some of the things that you're thinking about talking about on this album?
Well, I'm an MC at heart, and MCs have that braggadocious aspect. So it's easy for me to tell you how good I am. It's easy for me to rhyme about a woman. That's easy because there's so many topics and so many different subfacets you can go to. So from coming from a poetry theme, easy to write to, those two, and then the third would be any kind of frustration. Frustration makes it easy to write.
And right now, when we look at mainstream hip hop, the subject matter is at hand. You know, it can be very shallow.
Definitely.
And with personalities such as the lovely and talented Kanye West.
Kanye West.
He just goes in. I kind of want to get your perspective on what you think that people with such a huge following, what types of things should they be bringing more attention to in their music, you know, in terms of our society and the issues? Because there's a lot of stuff going on, right? And I think with any mainstream personality, there's a certain level of responsibility, social responsibility. You know, there should be at least one song where you're talking about something that is relatable to everyday people beyond the streets, right? That's more worldly. So what are some of the topics that you think today's mainstream artists should be talking about more in their music?
That's a tricky question, and I run the gamut in both directions.
Mm-hmm.
Artists have their own interpretation of the world,
Mm-hmm.
and because the industry has changed so much, where the
Mm-hmm.
criteria
Mm-hmm.
of what an artist is has changed,
Mm-hmm.
it's an uphill battle to really dig into what they should be talking about.
Mm-hmm.
All I can really say is, I think because of the way the industry has declined, those artists that really give a damn about the message in the future beyond their own personal legacy will input more of these outside elements into their music. It will incorporate more truth and more wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that, artists are very quick to nowadays throw out the young people that have made them successful,
Right.
and that I'm not responsible. They kind of absolve those responsibilities,
Mm-hmm.
which is definitely a problem. Because young people look up to artists in ways that is unimaginable.
Right.
The way we look up to our hip hop artists specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Black culture and in general, all culture, pop culture. So I know it's a tricky subject. I can only really speak for myself, and
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily. I may not say different things, but I'll say it in a way that will make you think differently.
Right.
So I will waste so much time trying to preach and trying to make you change. I'd
Mm-hmm.
rather just speak through my music and allow you to see different ways to think and approach it.
Right. You said that in a declining industry, talking
Mhm.
about the music industry. What is your
Yes.
perspective on the current reputation of our music industry?
Whew.
You said declining, so
Let me
that
take
speaks
off my
loudly.
jacket, 'cause we're getting hot here.
Well, we got to get deep. You know?
Definitely. It's a situation where the digital age changed the game indefinitely. It changed how A&Rs approach artists. It changed how labels approach A&Rs.
Right.
So when back in the days, I would have a stack of tapes, and they would find somebody and say, listen, I want to work with this person. I want to work with this person from scratch and create a brand. Now brands are expected to be given whole 100% to the packaged. And so you're looking at numbers. You're not looking at the music anymore. That being said, that creates a new problem for the artist and for the consumer, because now you have it all over the place. Now anybody with an Ethernet can create an album.
Right.
So it does change the actual chemistry of how it's presented. So it's to get back to your question. That is really the challenge, is to overcompensate for all of those nuances and just kind of climb on top of everything,
Right.
and then bring a truth that's strong enough that can penetrate the underground and the mainstream.
Right. One thing that we love on In the Studio is the live performance
No doubt.
component of our show. This is where we get to see the true, authentic talent of the artists that are featured here. So I'm wondering
Yes.
if you wouldn't mind doing a quick freestyle for us so that
Okay.
we can see the authentic talent of the marksman.
Okay. I can spit something for you.
Okay, great.
Is that cool with you?
Yeah, no, it's cool with.
Should I look
it's
into
cool
the
with
camera?
us.
Should I look at you? How would you like
You
it?
can look into the camera. Connect with the people. They want to see you.
Hi, people. How are you? Let's see. The average imagine us, habits of masochists, path past Damascus, passionate passengers, beaten and fractured, deeply rude and rattled, deferred by rash actions, preferred in battle. Gravel to dust when I grab it and crush, higher grade, better than when A added a plus to the letter. Let's make love rust and lust things together. Shameless plugs until we scuff surfaces, but there is no action if words were enough. Off the curve, over the edge. This is your verse, just the updated version. Work, then swerve to excursions, in between currencies. It's encouraging. Tomorrow should never look familiar, so for now, we're gonna do it till the break of dawn.
Hey.
Break of dawn.
Hey.
If you recognize that beat, break of dawn,
Hey.
you're gonna hear that in the Future Past mixtape.
Hey.
And we in the studio.
And we
Till
in the
break
studio.
of dawn.
Hey. To the break of dawn. We in the studio.
We in the studio.
To the break of dawn.
That's how we
Hey.
do.
Okay, you got me up here freestyling
got
with
you.
you. Well, not quite freestyling, but I can talk.
You
with
said
the
you can't freestyle before.
I cannot freestyle.
The moment you think about it, you stop freestyling.
I don't even know. Like, the furthest I get to is, my name is Jessica.
Okay.
And that's about it.
We could do 4 bars right now if you want to.
Wait, what am I supposed to do? Like, you
We're gonna
do-
build it.
Okay,
We're gonna build
all right, you start.
it. You said my name is Jessica,
Mhm.
and what do you do? What's
My
your favorite
name
thing
is
to do?
Jessica. My favorite thing to do is to talk and ask questions.
Okay. My name is Jessica. I like to talk. Okay. All right. How long you been in this city?
3 years.
3 years?
Yeah.
3 years ago, moved to New York.
Hey!
This
Okay,
is
can
deep.
can I say it?
Please.
Okay, this is going to be my new intro.
She wrote this. I didn't write it.
Yeah, he wrote that.
Yeah.
All right. I don't like to say see, my friends are going to laugh when they see this, but it's all good.
Okay.
My name is Jessica. I like to talk.
Uh-huh.
About 3 years ago, I moved to New York. Hey!
That's easy. That's easy.
Oh my God, I learned
We'll
something
finish it.
today.
We'll
We're going to
the
finish
song.
it another time, but let's toast to you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for
Thank you.
joining us in the studio. Thank you for the lovely freestyle. You're so talented.
Thank you so
and I cannot wait until your new album, your new project is released. You gotta keep us updated.
I will.
So, again, I am Jessica. We are here with the very incredibly talented MarXman. We will catch you next time on In the Studio.
I hear your heartbeat. Yeah, deep down, you wanna. Success is funny. We want it. That there are some who want less. Performers be